When I'm moose hunting and I walk into this wetland and see these bushes with the tops bent over and snapped, this screams moose browse. This means that moose have been here and have been eating on this bush. The challenge is, when were they here? And how do I make sure that I'm here when they're here so I can harvest my moose? So how do you tell the age of moose browse? How do you know if the moose broke this branch just before you stepped out into the clearing, or whether it's months old? The difference is the color of the stem itself. Let's look at some photos and try and understand what's new and what's old. If we look at this cow moose, she's grabbing a branch, pulling it and ripping it near the end. That point where she rips it off is where you want to look to determine the age of the browse. When you see a bush like this that's been eaten by moose, what you want to focus on is the very tip and the very end of the branch that's been broken by the moose. The color there will tell you how old that fracture is and when the moose was last there. If you look at the tip of this branch that I'm holding in my hand, you can see that it's been ripped and it has still a bit of a green tint to the wood. It's kind of a whitish green, which appears like the plant is still alive, and this suggests that it's very fresh. If you look at this branch, on the other hand, focusing on the tip again, there is a leaf, so that might suggest that it's alive, but if you look at the very tip, it's a black color. So this is quite old when that fracture occurred. The moose is long gone. This is browse that is not worth looking at. If we look at this branch between my fingers, you focus on the tip, what color is it? You can see that it's a greenish white color. It looks alive, and therefore it is fresh browse. If you look at the bush on the edge of this wetland, even from a distance you can focus on the tips of the branches and you can see what color it is. Is it a bright green, whitish color, or is it dark? You can see that it's dark and therefore old browse. If you look at this willow bush and focusing on the tips that have been broken, what color is it? Is it a bright white greenish, or is it dark? This particular bush is more on the darker side, so it isn't as black as the previous one, but you can see that it's more of a gray, darker color. Some of them are a bit lighter, more on the red side, but it's definitely not that white with a tinge of green that indicates that it's fresh. So this is old sign. If we look at the tips of these red branches, is it new or old browse? The tips of those red branches was a light white color and therefore it's fresh browse. If we look at these branches in front of us, from a distance, focusing on the tip of the branch, is it bright white, bright greenish, or is it dark? You can tell that it's dark even from this distance. This is old browse. If you find a shrub that's been eaten by moose with a top bent over and broken, look at the tip of the shrub. The tip of a branch, is it a light color or a dark color? And that will tell you if the browse is fresh and worth focusing on or old. Hopefully this helps you in your next moose hunting adventure.
Wise use. Educate, inspire, and experience.